let's begin. If you guys don't know our grades and how we grade the list, go and look through them. But okay, we grade from A to F. A's are the bombs, B's are like undercosted spells, efficient, very efficient removal, anything above the curve, what you expect as an average of the set. C is something average cards like that. C plus is pretty good. A lot of your deck is gonna be consistent from C's. Those are not the bad cards, but those are not like cards that, oh, now I'm gonna be in this color because of this card. These are filler. Well, these are gonna be a big part of your deck, I think, in a 4-player format because of what Scotty just said. So, Spider-Man, these, D minus D plus, I think we're gonna have to have like 5+ of those in this kind of draft. And that's gonna be really interesting. I really like when I have to put some not very good cards in my deck, some niche effects, and choose what they are. Fs are basically unplayable. When we grade something on F, you probably never want it in your deck. It's always gonna be better to put a random shit in it or a land. Usually just play one more land and that's gonna be better. And that's about it. For best of 3 drafters, we put an X in very good sideboard cards. There are not a lot of those because some that are like really bad in the main deck, really good in the sideboard. We also give a ceiling to some cards. This is very important for multicolor cards because we grade multicolor cards a little bit lower usually, unless they're like crazy good to just take them. And then in color, that's the grade when you know that you're in the color. Like for example, a good blue-red 2-drop is maybe gonna be really good in blue-red, but maybe it's unsplashable because it's a freaking 2-drop. Usually those are not very good in the late game. So you never want to splash it, you only want it in blue-red, so maybe you're not picking it that highly before you know that you're in those colors, because you don't want to lose these cards. You don't want to just pick a lot of multicolor cards and then lose them, or if your lane is closed. All right.
Perfected Pastry. So I'm gonna read the arena side, and then the Spider-Man side will be on the right hand. So Perfected Pastry is 1 mana for an artifact food. White and tap, sacrifice this artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery. Or 2 and tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life and draw a card. This is like kind of surprisingly pushed. Shockingly, right? Like if you think about Honor from the last set, this is just that with like an additional 1 generic cost tacked on, which is significant. But not that bad when you can divide it up between 2 turns, and you also have the option to just sack and draw. I don't think this will have like a crazy amount of synergy in the set, but this seems like a really solid card to me. You can fizzle the ability on +1/+1 counter draw cards, so be careful about that. You won't draw a card if that creature that you target dies. But overall, this looks pretty good, dang good to me. I think this is just a C.
Okay, so we have 5 of these that look like they're colorless, but they're not really. Because usually you need to pay for their better side, you need to pay a colored mana. C, it's kind of cool that you can like just sometimes you want to gain life. A lot of times you don't give a damn about paying 3 freaking mana to draw a card, but really like paying 1 plus white to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and draw a card. That's good.
I mean, I think Honor was a C, and I think this card is about the same in power level.
Really? The same? This is like double the mana.
I mean, but you also have the bailout mode of just gaining life drawing a card, and that's pretty significant if you're like in a clutch racing situation like Nutblock was.
But it's double the mana when you put a +1/+1 counter on something.
Sure, divide it up over a couple turns. I think it's quite good. Okay, I understand you not liking it because of that.
There's no artifact synergies that I know of in this. There's like nothing cares about artifacts in this set. Am I right about
stuff does care about modify.
It cares a little bit about modify, yeah.
A little bit. Tiny bit.
It really is a tiny bit, right?
It's a tiny bit, but you will see those cards more often. So it might feel like more than it seems.
Okay, I'm on a D+. I don't think this set cares about this card. Just a D+. Okay. And by the way, guys, for those of you that don't know, why do we have 2 cards? Why is one of them a freaking Beagle and Schmer? This is a Spider-Man set for paper Magic. But they didn't buy rights for MTG Online and MTG Arena. So we have, some cards have the same name and yeah, different art because you can't have Spider-Man online. We're just gonna have two different cards. And if you ask me, this is a mess to have a stream like this, but man, I like these arena versions way more. What about you, Scotty? Do you not give a damn or?
I mean, it's overall very negative, as you're saying, but it is cool to see the in-universe versions, I have to say. They obviously fit way more into the theme of Magic.
Yeah. Like, when we don't think about like tier list and how to do this, I'm actually happy that on Arena we don't have Beagle and Schmer and Taxi drivers. I kind of prefer this more like mythical, magical theme. So I don't know. I thought I was gonna hate this, but I actually love it. I actually love it. But if somebody's a Spider-Man fan that wants it on Arena, I can understand this. And I like Spider-Man. I just don't like it in Magic Universe. And I'm super biased about this shit because like I can't wait for Avatar: The Last Airbender because I'm like a huge freaking fan of that. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy, so I love that. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, so I love that. But those are all a bit more magical and mystical than Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm like Doctor Who and Spider-Man don't really want it in my Magic. I don't know. Is somebody taking care of that child? Yeah, they're in front of our window. Is this child? I don't know why it's.
Is that your kid?
No. I was like, I asked my girlfriend, like, is somebody taking care of the child, or is just lying there and coughing like it's gonna die? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like super. Oh, what's happening, Scotty?
Oh, sorry. Hannah's probably just testing something with the double face cards.
Wait,
we'll go back to it soon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super biased. If anybody loves the Spider-Man song, I'm sorry that you're not gonna see it on MTG Online and MTG Arena. But for me, I read comic books of Spider-Man when I was young, but I kind of really like the magic look of things, and I can like Edge of Eternities. What else? Like Cowboys and shit like that. I would Edge of Eternities is fine, but like Cowboys and things like that, racing, I would rather that's not there. But it's not a freaking taxi driver, so no hate if somebody loves that. But I'm so happy that we have like Through the Omenpaths, the name that I didn't know until very recently. Okay, Scotty, anything else to add about this important subject?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Next up, we have Eerie Gravestone. Same. We can read both names. For 2 mana, when this artifact enters, draw a card for 1 and a black, sacrifice this artifact, mill 4 cards. You may put a creature card from among them into your hand. From what I know of, there is basically no sacrifice. Theme, no artifact theme. I think there's like literally not a single card that sacrifices something. Not a single card in this set, which happens sometimes, even though we have a Rakdos team. Yeah, there's not a single thing. So this like when this, oh, this is when it enters draw card. My bad. Okay, that's pretty stupid. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. But the shitty thing is, mill 4 cards, you may put a creature card from among them into your hand. This feels horrible, Scotty.
It's a huge deal from among them versus
That's
not.
Horrible. It's from isn't Mayhem discard? What do you mean it's for the Mayhem mechanic?
Mayhem has to be discarded.
And this feels horrible. Like milling is not discard. The Mayhem is discard from hand. But this is horrible. Like 2 mana draw card, absolutely no artifact synergies, I think. There's that one thing that makes artifacts into a 3/3s, but that card feels bad. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna give this a D. A D? This feels bad. Why do you have... Why could this... Why cannot you get the card, any card? Why cannot you get any card from...
That would actually be quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, what is this shit?
But no, this is bad. D.
D. That's horrible. Oh, by the way, yeah, there's gonna be so many more duplicates in the packs. So many more duplicates.
Okay. Okay, Steel Web Surveyor is 2 mana for an artifact creature, Spider Robot Scout with Reach. It's a 2/1. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle, put that card on top. So, Spider is a relevant creature type in this format. So, this is a little bit better than just a 2/1 for 2 mana. That being said, I don't think you necessarily need this card. These cards range from like highly replaceable, bottom of the barrel filler to sometimes pretty decent, and I think this one will be closer to bottom of the barrel filler. So this is a D for me.
Yeah, D, whatever. Has reach, that's nice. There's like good amount of flying in this set actually, but this is a 2/1. Yeah, Spider, usually I would give it probably a D minus, but I think this is gonna card that makes your deck. Like Spider synergies, you're probably gonna need to splash a little bit more because, well, it's a 4-player draft. We just went over that. Gonna have less focused decks, so I can see it maybe going into D+. The problem with this is like really bad way to splash. Like usually when you're splashing, a lot of times it's better to just get a land to splash for. And when you want to splash, like you don't really, in mid game, late game, you kind of really want to play something and then splash right away, not play something and fuck up your next card draw by putting a land there. If it's early game, a lot of times putting a land on top is great. It's the best thing you can get, perfect. But if it's mid game to late game, like it really sucks that you're basically discarding a next card. Like next time you draw a card, you discard it because now land is on top that you need only to splash. So D.
Okay. This is Vine Woven Chariot, which is 2 mana for an artifact vehicle. It's a 3/1. When this vehicle enters, you may pay green. If you do, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Has crew 2. Okay, so on its face, 2 mana, 3/2, or sorry, 2 mana 3/1 vehicle crew 2 is horribly unplayable. That's an F.
Yeah.
That's an F. If you tack on an extra green onto it and fetch a land, I still think this is kind of medium in terms of like a way to fix your mana on 3. Not the greatest. I think it's fine though. I actually think this one is like sort of fine for green decks, right? Like we've seen cards for 3 mana that immediately impact the board, that fetch you a land, that have been honestly some of the better commons in their respective sets. Tacking a vehicle onto this is significantly weaker than that. So I think this is like a C minus.
Okay. I think this is pretty damn good. I think it's pretty good. Crew 2 is... It's not that much. Most of the things just create. 3/1 trades. Getting any land into your hand in a set where you kind of want to do that. There's also the N-Web or web slinging mechanic.
It does help that a lot, and that's in Selesnya.
Yeah. And there's like some cards that draw your card. It's gonna be a slower set, I think. Even though a lot of cards are kind of look like they're not slow. That are kind of fast. But much harder to make a fast deck in a 4-player pod. So these vehicles actually enable some pretty interesting things. Like you can tap anything that doesn't have to attack, and then you can unweb it. Mostly uncommons are what you're trying to do there. And there are some really cool synergies. Like there is a green 6 mana and web thing that creates that gains you 3 life and gets you 2/1 spiders with reach. And if you have 2 of those, you can just infinitely enweb that. And you don't even need 2 of those. You can only just get 1 of those and another enweb card, right? So vehicles are gonna enable infinite combos with 2 enweb cards. There is another enweb card that at the beginning of your end step, the white one, you're gonna if 2 creatures enter the battlefield this turn, you draw a card and then gain 2 life. So this is definitely an enabler for that. Also gets you a land. So vehicles are gonna be interesting in this set. Vehicles are actually gonna be the most interesting they have ever been, I think, because they're usually the vehicles have just been vehicles. That's it. They need to be crewed. They're not creatures. Here, it could potentially enable some pretty crazy combos. So I'm actually on a C here. Just kind of really like the card, and I can see it being definitely higher if you have those decks where you're interested in infinite combos with web slinging. Doesn't even have to be infinite.
Okay, I'll go up to C as well. Good point. All right. Treat Trolley. Oh, wait. You read this one.
Treat Trolley. Also, hot dog card. Like, I'm so happy that I'm gonna be seeing a freaking Treat Trolley with some critters, then a hot dog card, which is a hot dog card. But when I look at the hot dog card now, it's actually kind of cool. It's it's so weird. It's so weird to have a hot dog card in a limited, like, rotating limited set. So now maybe I'm a little bit fond of the silliness, but Treat Trolley. When it's an artifact for 3 mana, when this artifact enters, create a food token. Add 1 mana of any color. Okay. This is way better than what we get a lot of times with this. Oh yeah, we have the flip cards, that's true.
The flip cards weren't working before, so Han was fixing it.
Nice, thank you, Han. You're wonderful. So no artifact synergies. There's like that one 4 mana 3/3 that at the beginning there is the artifact synergies, right? The 4 mana 3/3 actually. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-equipment artifact you control becomes an artifact. That's a 3/3, and you untap it. So that's the only artifact synergy in the whole set that I remember, and I think that is literally the only one. With that, kind of cool. Can ramp twice. It does gain you life, right, when you're ramping and so on. Look, I think this is gonna be a card for this set. You're gonna have to play filler, and I think this is gonna be a fine filler to add in. You're gonna probably have to play a little bit more colors than usually. Well, I mean, I guess the same amount of colors that the average arena player plays, and it's a lot. Scotty, it's a fucking lot. Like, you can see it when you play against people that they're randomly playing a ton of colors that really doesn't make any sense for them to do. Playing like early game in a lot of colors. The newer students that I get, I do a shit ton of coaching, and basically every time a new student comes, first thing we have to address, and I'm talking about people that have good win rates, not only bad win rates. The first thing that we have to address is splashing is great. I splash so often, but you gotta fix the way you splash. You can't just be playing 3-4 colors randomly without any logic. That's almost always the first thing that I gotta fix with people coming to me for coaching. And yeah, I guess people are going to be playing a lot of same amount of colors as usually. But here you are gonna have to, I think. So I'm gonna be on a D+ for this.
All right, I'm gonna flat D.
Okay.
Don't love it. I just don't think it gives you a whole lot of value for 3 mana. But I can see what you're saying.
I would way rather have that vehicle if I'm green, for example. And that's a common vehicle, right?
That is a common vehicle, yes.
Okay.
Data Scrubber, 3 mana for an artifact creature, human, robot, villain. It's a 2/1. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Target creature you control connives. So conniving is a mechanic from Streets of New Capenna, which essentially means that when you target a creature, you draw a card and then discard a card, and if you discarded a non-land card, you put a +1/+1 counter on said creature. So like if you, for example, you play Data Scrubber target itself, and you discard a non-land card, it will be a 3/2. Great. Or you can discard a land, it'll be a 2/1. You can look at conniving and say, hey, this is a cool way to enable mayhem, right? Mayhem being that you can cast a card if you've discarded it this turn. However, an additional 3 mana tacked onto that is going to be not easy. It's going to be very hard. I would describe this as extremely difficult mayhem enabler.
Yeah.
But like this is not how I really want. This is not how I want to be doing it. It like 3 is like so much mana, even in comparison to 2.
Yeah.
So I think this card's kind of garbage. Don't love it. I think it's a D-.
I mean, yeah. So Mayhem is there. Oh wait, D-, you say? So Mayhem is basically madness, but you can play it through the whole turn, and the casting rules apply. So you gotta, if you're playing a creature, it's gotta be on your turn.
The timing rules, yes.
Yeah. Depends on how much the Mayhem costs. The thing about Mayhem is you have 1 common and 1 uncommon that cost 1 mana. The uncommons, all other uncommons cost 3 or 4. So it's gonna be, what, 6 or 7? That's way too much to wait. Way too long to wait. The 1 mana Mayhem cards and the 2 mana Mayhem cards, and there are 2 mana Mayhem cards in 2 of them on common, could be like 4 or 5 mana to make that some creature have a +1/+1 and basically draw a card, and you paid less mana for that Mayhem card. So I think it's gonna have its uses. It's a common. It's a common that can in the end go in any deck. Not a perfect card. I would definitely not give it a D-, right? If you're paying 4, this just drew you a full card and put a +1/+1 on something, and you paid less for the other card, right? You paid 1 mana for a 2/2 flyer. You paid 2 mana to deal 4 damage to something. You paid 2 mana to make a 4/3. You paid 1 mana to make like a 2/1 mana, sure. So, but you drew an extra card. I don't think you never play this. I'm gonna be D if your Mayhem goes up. I don't think you need a ceiling, but I'm gonna be on a D on average. I can see it being like a D+ in a Mayhem deck.
I think it's fine. That sounds right to me.
Next up, we got Opulent Wallet, or the News Helicopter. Man, I like the Opulent Wallet more. Which one of these, like, hot dog stands and so on, which one do you like more, Scotty?
Which one do you like more?
You.
You want me to answer that question?
I said, which one do you like more?
Oh, okay, sorry. I like the in-universe ones for pretty much all of them.
Okay. So it's a 3 mana, 1/1 flyer, and when it enters, you create a 1/1 non-flyer, green and white human citizen creature token. So this one is actually interesting. Its obvious way to use it is like 3 mana 1/1 that makes a 1/1 is fine. The obvious way to use it is this is a very easy thing to web sling or to enweb. So there's that. You can do that. You can get it 1/1 and get this one back into your hand because it's easy to attack with a flyer and it won't be that easy to block. So it's a role player. No artifact synergies. So it's definitely a role player. With that web sling, with those web sling effects. And again, in this set, not again because we didn't talk about it, in this set you need less cards. You might say, oh Lola, but there is only 2 cards that enweb or in on the common rarity and only 3 on the uncommon. Yes, but there is like 50% less uncommons and I don't know, 30% less commons. So you're gonna see them a lot more. So basically, the uncommons, you're gonna see 100% more of the same uncommon. So yeah, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm on a C minus. Or a C.
All right. Okay, I'm on a D. Yeah, I'm not in love. I think it's fine. I do think that there's much better ways that you want to be enabling your your web slinging shenanigans than a 3-mana colorless card. I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna put my stake down now. I'm gonna put my flag down now and get on my soapbox already. I actually think the main strength of green white is to cheat mana and to outcurve the opponent. And I'm not a huge believer in like the sort of late game web slinging cards. So if I'm going to be paying 3 and then bouncing a 3-mana card and then recasting a 3-mana card to get a 1/1, I don't think that's how web slinging wants to operate in this set. So I'm pretty low on it. D.
Okay, I think that the web sling a lot of times is more like, it's gonna be a bit more about synergy than cheating out things. I think it's much easier to just play things on curve. So that's how it feels to me. Okay, D minus. Then we're gonna see. This is the biggest difference. You're on a D, right?
D.
Okay, okay.
Carriage of Dreams. Carriage of Dreams is 3-mana artifact vehicle. That's a 4/3. Whenever this vehicle attacks, you may pay blue. When you do, another target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Crew 2. I don't fully get this card. I don't really understand why this is here or what this is doing. This is a pretty poor vehicle. You can sometimes sneak in damage. That card can then, I guess, be web sling because, like, for sure, tap that you have a vehicle anyway for it. I do agree with you earlier that having crew in general is a boon in this set a lot more than it has been in previous sets because of the web slinging mechanic. I'm guessing you'd want to pair this with white more so than anything. I guess you could pair with green just specifically because you can bash in. And the sizing of the vehicle for 3 mana is like, it's actually pretty bad. It's still pretty bad for a crew 2 vehicle. Yeah, I'm not really into this. I'm on a D minus. I'm wondering if you see something that I'm not getting.
It's still a vehicle that can help with, like, it's gonna be so easy to do the web sling combos, like late game combos. Gonna be super easy. So yeah, I'm kind of into these vehicles. But this one, what do you give it? D?
D minus.
Yeah, it's like the you gotta tap something and then you gotta pay more. It is like 3 mana 4/3 is nice, but 3 mana 4/3 crew 2 is really bad, and then this effect, you better have those web sling shit going on. You really get just this. I'm on a D minus as well. I think you really do just get this thing 4/3. You don't get an extra land or something like you did do in green. And my god, Carriage of Dreams looks so much better than Passenger Ferry. Okay, yeah. Oh man, the Passenger Ferry is
I'm
going.
kind of into Passenger Ferry because that boat exists IRL, and that's funny.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the hot dog
That's like the
exists
Staten Island ferry.
Okay, yeah, D minus. I think this is really crappy. But I can see again it going up in a deck that's more into web slinging, where all the vehicles help quite a lot. Where you can like move cards around, you can draw extra cards and so on until you finally get that combo to just start web slinging like crazy. And the uncommons also gain you life when you do that, so you do get an extra time to do it. I think that's gonna be a very powerful thing to do if you can get it, if it's not gonna be super taken.
We should say this right now. We should say this right now because I think it's important because it was just mentioned in chat. Simic is not a supported archetype in this set.
Yeah.
The allied color pairs are supported. Simic is not. There are no multicolor Simic cards. There are only allied gold cards. Does that mean you can never draft Simic? No, it still means you can draft Simic, right?
Yeah.
It's just that fundamentally it'll be less supported than the other archetypes.
Yeah, I think you can draft like really anything with green because it has enough ways to splash.
Yeah.
I think splashing is gonna be big in this set, and I can see like I was already thinking about like Simic deck that splashes for white things, that blue helps you to draw those cards, and then green helps you to survive. Green is we're gonna see a bit later today or tomorrow. Green has really fucking good early game, and combine that with splashing, you just get a bit of card draw, and I think like you're gonna have really nice combos if you go blue green and splash for white. Yeah, but yeah, D- on this one though. Can see it in that deck. Can see it in that deck if you don't get other things. Temple Trap for or Steel Wrecking Ball for 5 mana. This art is so different, like the Temple Trap art from the other ones. Feels like kind of like on a super old art that we've had. When this artifact enters, deal 5 damage to target creature. For 1 and red, you can discard this card to restore target artifact. Yeah. Okay. Either restore an artifact or deal 5 damage to target creature. Not that there are not many artifacts, right? In this set. I mean, there are some artifact creatures, I guess, so that's kind of cool. Oh, there are some. Oh. Oh, weird. Okay, there's like an artifact spider here. There are some artifacts. But most of them already give you the things. A lot of them give you some things before when they enter the battlefield, so you basically never want to get rid of them. This feels kind of meh, but it's pretty cool that you can like use it to kill something or to destroy target artifact, so that's kind of cool. I'm okay with a D.
I'm on a D as well. Nothing special. If you need it, you need it. And, you know, something went wrong, but whatever. Something goes wrong all the time. There is a cycle that we can grade all at once. There's a cycle of allied colored surveil lands. Well, it's not really right to call them surveil lands. They're kind of like the campuses from Strixhaven. You pay 4 mana, tap them, and surveil them. We can grade these all at once. I actually don't know whether or not there's a land slot. I'm pretty sure there isn't. Does anyone do you have that knowledge offhand?
No.
Actually, don't know. Okay.
Does anybody have the knowledge?
That's
Is
fine.
there a land slot? There has been a land slot for so long, for so many sets now.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be for this one as well.
I mean, I think these cards are pretty good. I mean, especially if you're consolidating around 5 archetypes instead, you're more likely to be able to use these or be able to splash with them, especially in this set. So I'm gonna put all these at a C+.
When you need them, you need them. I'm gonna put them on C-. If I need them,
Okay.
I take them higher. By the way, so this set is about allied colors. What do the allied color pairs mean? It means there's 5 color pairs, not 10. 10 is the max. 5 color pairs that are next to each other, right? So we got white, blue, black, red, green. So you get white, green, white, blue. Those are next to each other. For black, what is next to black? It's black, blue, and black, red. Those are the supported archetypes. You can move around them like we do in this kind of allied enemy color pairs. And then maybe splash the neighboring ones. That is always something that you can do. So yeah. That's about it. That's all the common artifacts, right?
Nope. Not all of them. We have Evolving Wilds.
Yeah, I like Evolving Wilds. I want to see.
Actually, I'm lowering all of my dual colors to C's, and I think Evolving Wilds also a C.
Okay. I like this more than the others because like you can pick it up sooner and know that it's gonna be fine in your deck. It's gonna be good in your 2-color deck. And there's gonna be a lot of splashing. So all of this might get a higher grade from me, 1 higher grade, because there's gonna be a lot of splash.
Okay. Sorry, give me a second to switch
The
to
dog is lying in
because we're
such
doing
a cute
uncommons now,
way.
right?
1 second, I gotta pet the dog while you do this.
Let me know when you're back. We can actually. I mean, should I read the next one?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Cactarantula Saddle for 1 mana. It's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2/+2 and is a spider hero in addition to its other types. Equip 3. Spider-Man equivalent is just the spider suit. Yeah, okay, so developing this for 1 mana is cool. Equipping this for 3 is not cool. I do not think that equipping for 3 for a +2/+2 bonus is worth it at all. That's incredibly expensive, incredibly grindy. To find time to do that and for it to be worth it is going to be difficult. In the hyper late game, sure. When you have excess mana and, you know, +2/+2 to all your additional creatures that come in when you're in the top deck war, that's fine. Obviously great, but it's just not going to be worth. This is a D- to me. I don't think Spider Hero, like Spider Hero, sure is somewhat relevant creature type, but I don't think it's worth the Magic card. So this is a D- for me.
Yeah, so if this was 2 mana, it would be extremely broken, right? To equip.
It would be quite good.
It would be like B level card. But it's not. 3 mana is so much for +2/+2. There's like some spider support. There's like one uncommon hybrid blue or white card that searches for equipment or auras. But there's not many spider support. It's more like search for like the spider or something. Or it's more like spider enters or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. D-. 3 is so much to equip. I don't think you want it. Gororel, Scourge to Spiders. Scourge to... This is... Okay, the left one actually looks more like it's from a Spider-Man universe than the right one. On this one. Gororel, Scourge to Spiders. Spider Slayer, Hatred Honed. It's like... it's a legendary artifact creature. It's a 2/1. Whenever it deals damage to a spider, destroy that creature. So, yeah. No death touch. Death touch for spiders. For 6 mana, exile this card from your graveyard. Create 2 tapped 1/1 colorless robot artifact creatures tokens with flying. Why not Death Touch? Fuck this, man. Death Touch Reach? What do you want from this? It's like 2 mana, 2/1 Death Touch that also for 6 mana makes 2 flyers. This card is great already. I want a B- for this one. These are 2 flyers.
Yeah, it's not even that this card will be incredibly impactful when you see it. You'll just take it really highly because like it's going to be one of the cards you know you're going to play, and it's a 2-drop, an incredibly highly desired mana cost.
Yeah.
So you're just going to take it high.
Yeah. Makes any deck.
Scuttling Spider Coach, or the Spider-Man equivalent, Spider-Mobile. This is a 3 mana, 3/3 with trample vehicle. Whenever this vehicle attacks or blocks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each spider you control and crew 2. So this is
interesting.
This can vary a lot, right? Like if this is a 3 mana 3/3 that you have no spiders, obviously this is garbage. But there's a ton of spiders in the deck. There's a lot of spiders in the deck, in the set, right? If it's like +1/+1 for each creature you control, that's pretty good. That's like worth it. That's like worth it. That's like pretty good.
Worth it? That's broke.
In my opinion. Yeah.
That's
overall, I think this will be. Overall, I think those would be solid. I think there's enough spiders on the set. You're going to collect a reasonable amount where this can reasonably attack as like a 5/5. Even a 4/4 is like not the worst. So it's all right. And it just goes up from there. So I think this card is actually pretty good. I actually think it's pretty good. I'm giving this a C+.
So if this is a 5/5 on average, it's one of the most broken things in this set. You cannot race a 3 mana 5/5 Trampler. You gotta block it. You can't raise that. You gotta somehow deal with it.
Yeah, imagine if they printed that at common, huh?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So why are we saying that? Because of the Colorless, right?
Yeah, because of Renegade Freighter, yes.
So Renegade Freighter, by the way, guys, was a 3 mana 4/3 vehicle that you can crew for 1, so that's better. And when it attacks, it becomes a 5/4 Trampler. So 5/4 Trampler for 3 mana, turns out, is impossible to fucking race. It's just like Kinda doesn't matter what you're doing, you're not racing it. And, well, it's so hard to block. You're not blocking it with a 2-drop or a 3-drop, you're blocking it with both. So, the way the Colorless draft worked is if you got few of those commons, colorless commons, you would have the better deck. A lot of times it was like, who had more 5/4 trampler vehicles for 3 mana that you can crew with anything. If this is a 5/5 in your deck on average, that's some broken shit. Isn't this a bomb in the pick to environment? 26 Lens asks. You can have a deck full of spiders. Yeah, but why would you have that? Opponents are also picking 2. What if they're making a spider deck? They can just take all of it. And as we said, you go to pick 5, you cut yourself with 2 picks for that deck on that pick 5, which is actually pick 9. So, super variance. What do you give it, Scotty? Like, what do you give it?
C+. I actually think it's pretty good. I think there's enough spiders on the set.
This varies. This is so...
I think it's actually not. I think it's pretty significant that this blocks larger as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, I want a C+, but I want to give it a ceiling of...
Sure. I'm in.
Because it's gonna be shit in some decks. It's gonna be like really bad in some decks, but it's gonna be completely broken in some other decks. Just like maybe 4/4 one turn, next turn 5. If this attacks as a 5/5 on average, I cannot like state how broken it is. It doesn't matter that it's a vehicle at all. It's just like you don't race this. You cannot race it. And what's limited about? Always, at certain point, it's about winning the race. At certain point. You're playing control deck. Extremely slow deck. At one point, you're gonna win because you're starting to win the race. Well, if you get this as a 5/5 on turn 4, good luck not winning the race. Good luck to your opponent winning the race, because the game just started and you're destroying the race. I can see this just being a straight up B minus B. That's it, and then let's see what happens. Alright, that's pretty cool. This one is really cool. Error 9, Viral Node. Living Brain, Mechanical Marvel. So it's a 4 mana 3/3. Okay, that sucks. It's a villain. There's a villain matter. Villains matter. Villains do matter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-equipment artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. Untap it. It can indeed make itself a 3/3. This can make the flyer into a 3/3 flyer. This can make your food. This can, I guess, vehicles, but kind of don't care about it. This has some... synergies in the format. I don't think it's an F. I'm gonna give it a D. I think sometimes it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be better than a D sometimes.
All right, I'm on D-. I'm off it.
There is like no artifact synergies except this card, but there is a decent amount of random artifacts.
I just think the payoff isn't even like crushing, you know? Like...
Yeah, it's a 3/3, that's true.
Yeah. It's fine. Let's talk about Fearsome Ridgeline, or the Daily Bugle building. Fearsome Ridgeline is a land, tap to add colorless, or 1 and tap to add 1 mana of any color, so it filters your mana. Or you can pay 1 and tap it, and target legendary creature gains menace until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Spicy. That's a pretty spicy ability. Menace? Decent keyword. Reasonable. The fact that you can have just a land on the battlefield and change the way that your opponent attacks and blocks is nice. That's some value, even if you never use the ability, right? Like sometimes they just can't really afford to attack you with an additional creature just because they need to block a Menacer. So that's cool. That's neat. The filtering ability, it's fine. If you're splashing multiple colors, it's quite good. If you're splashing one color, usually without the final ability, usually a basic land is better. I do think that almost there's so many legendaries in the set. There's so many legendaries, and it's relatively cheap to activate.
There has never been this many legendaries.
Yeah, there's an insane amount of legendaries. Like everything has a name in comic books, so everything has a name here. So I mean, this is basically tap to give your creature menace, which is a good effect. It's a good effect. I think this is a C+.
I think it's kind of bad. I don't think a menace is 2 mana for a menace is that good. I think it's a D+. I think you're gonna get better fixing. But I can see it playing it. I mean, it's just like this kind of effect, add one mana of any color. I mean, okay, I'll give it a C-, C- for me. Because it's gonna be better in this set. Because it's gonna be a bit slower. I think, because of the 4-player drafts and less consistent focus decks. I think everything that kind of favors the slower games is a little bit better in this set. But usually I hate paying 1 extra mana for cards. And it's not really gonna finish the games. It gives menace. It doesn't give unblockable, doesn't give flying, it's menace. It's 2 creatures. Those late games, it's not gonna finish them. It's 1 creature that gets menace, which means 2 creatures have to block it. I don't think it's gonna finish the game.
We're on to rares.
You're on to rares. What? What was this art? This is like super old art. Super old art. Giant Craft Helm for 1. It's an equipment. Whenever a creature controlled with a mana value 5 or greater enters, you may attach this equipment to it. If this creature gets a +4/+4. Equip 5. Okay. Yeah, okay. Jim said that the art looks like 1992 computer game. That's true. Looks like MTG Online, yeah. Man, this is a lot. Jesus Christ. Mana value 5 for great enters. So even if you unwebbed it or something. Even if you unwebbed it. +4/+4? Look, if I'm equipping once, equip 5 is so much. But it does make any of your creatures a bomb. And if you got a decent amount of cards, and this set I think cares about creatures that cost 4, 5, and so on. It's a lot, man. I'm gonna be a Timmy and give this a B-. Scotty, do you want to talk me down on it?
No, I was gonna give it a B- as well, actually. I think it's pretty good. It's really not that hard to get this on the battlefield in your developing stages. And then if you drop any 5 mana value card or greater, it's just incredibly massive. It just turns your common 5-drop into you're right, you're saying a bomb. And it's not nothing that once they sort of handle that, then you can start investing mana into your smaller creatures, right?
Yeah.
So it's whether or not can you afford to be down a card in those developing stages. I think for the most part, yeah, you can. I think in typical games you can do that. So I think this is well worth it. I think this is a B-.
And there is really a decent amount of these higher costed cards, and the set feels like it's gonna be slower. Like, there is the same amount of common creatures that cost more than 4, like in a normal set. But there is like a lot less commons. So you're gonna have to put them in your decks. This set is gonna be like Timmies all over the world are gonna be rejoicing. Because I think everybody's gonna have to be playing more late game creatures. Because you can't be like, oh, I can play 7 2-drops, 4 3-drops, like 2 or 3 4-drops, and then maybe 1 or 2 5-drops and 6-drops. You're gonna have to put more. And there is like a lot more uncommons that cost more than this than in a regular set. Like a lot more. What do you give it?
I give this a B-.
Okay, we are... The teamies are gonna be happy with this. But you know what also? With this set, they're gonna be happy, but I think also this set is gonna teach teamies that you fucking gotta pick early drops much earlier. Because it's gonna be harder to make a deck with a good amount of them. And I think that this is gonna be a set that's gonna teach a lot of teams, well, you cannot play decks with 1 2-drop, which is what they're gonna end up with. Like, they are gonna end up with like 1 2-drop if they don't pick them highly enough. Or they're gonna end up with 5 2-drops in 4 different colors, and then they're gonna be angry that they are not lucky to draw all of their mana in the first 2 turns. Okay. Alright, I'm into this shit.
Phenomena Recorder, or Peter Parker's camera. It's an artifact. This artifact enters with 3 film counters on it. 2 and tap, remove a film counter from this artifact. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I think this is garbage. I don't think this is worth a card. I hope I'm wrong. F.
Feels cool. Hope I'm wrong. F. Next up, Physic Ethereum Mechanic. It's a spider hero. It's a 3 mana 2/3 artifact. It has vigilance. You can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature and or vehicle you control. You can pay 2 mana, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among artifacts you control, draw a fucking card. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Busted. This on its own, it's gonna be a 3/4 next turn with vigilance. 4/5 late on the later turn with vigilance. That's wild. It being a 2/3, not like a 2/2, means like it has very good stats the next turn, and it just keeps getting better. And God forbid that you have some more artifact creatures, and there are random like vehicles and artifact creatures. There definitely are. Huh. I'm gonna give this a bomb grade, man. It's a freaking 3-drop that I gotta deal with. I'm gonna give it an A-.
Yeah, I'm giving this an A- as well. This card's insane.
Yeah. You just also draw cards at instant speed. What the hell? That's insane.
I can't believe it has vigilance.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the heck? Stitcher's Wings, 3 mana for an artifact equipment. When this equipment enters, if it was cast from your graveyard, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has flying and haste. Equip 2, Mayhem 2. All right, well, for 3 mana and you get to slap something on for freezies, and that's not even including the Mayhem cost, that gains flying? That's strong. This is pretty dang strong. It hits really hard. Obviously, it doesn't really help you defend yourself, blah, 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 whatever. But the addition to, I'm not even counting the fact that sometimes you can just put a Mayhem synergy together and turn your 2-drop into like a must-answer threat. And to move it around for 2 mana, crazy. This can even be used defensively to block flyers for relatively cheap. Like, it's relatively cheap in the late game to smash in with a flyer, like your 2-drop, and then move it over to block a flyer if you really need to. Equip 2 is a good equip cost. It's a good equip cost. This card is very, very strong. This is a B+ to me.
If you don't Mayhem it, if it doesn't have Mayhem, what's the grade?
If it doesn't have Mayhem, what's the grade? If it doesn't have Mayhem, probably a B.
3+2 is a lot. But the slower set means that it's probably fine. There's also that white-blue uncommon, and you're gonna see some uncommons a lot more. That, like either blue or white, that searches for equipment. So there's that. And this is an equipment. Oh. I'm wondering
if it's a B+ without Mayhem too. I think actually, even without Mayhem, I think this is better than Maul of the Skyclaves, if you remember that card.
Maul of the Skyclaves is 3 mana, but you equip it right away, right?
This one you equip it. Ah. Oh yeah. Without the mayhem. Yeah. No. You're right. This is much worse.
What is
No,
the
you're right.
remind me of Maul? It was like
No. Maul was equip was an unconditional equip no matter what. This one is conditional equip.
And
Yep.
it was +2
It's
and
worse.
flying
You're
and
right.
first strike. Man.
No, you're right. It's worse. It's worse.
It's a lot more to re-equip that one, but it's like fucking +2 flying first strike. Okay, like
Yeah, I think I was off base on this one. I actually think even with mayhem, this is a B.
I think it's B with mayhem. Because if you use it as mayhem, that's so good. That is so good that the first one just gets there. And it's so hard to win the race with when you have a +2, +0 freaking flyer. There's also some creatures like that you can just play that creature for knife or something and then equip it there. Reality Fulcrum. For 4, it's an artifact. When this artifact enters, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Or you can tap this to add 2 mana of any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast spells from exile. What the fuck? So it only helps you spend those cards, but that's actually fine. That's actually great. Wow, this is actually really good. Wait, this is amazing! But you basically paid 2 mana to draw 2 cards? I think this is really good. So it looks like, oh my god, when am I gonna have spells in my exile? Who cares? Like you pay 4, get 2 cards, and one of them is gonna cost 2 less, right? Or maybe both of them are gonna cost 2 less. Like for example, if you get a 2-drop, you use it, you just play it, and then the next card costs 2 less. I don't think you need to be in a slow deck for this. Yeah, 4 mana draw to get 2 mana to cast them. And there are some cards that care about exile. There's like an uncommon 1, 2. There's 2 red uncommons that give you a nice amount of cards from exile. I think that's about it. I like this, man. Wait, isn't this really good? In a slower format as well? It's not really draw 2, like Exile 2 is much weaker. Not much weaker, but it's weaker. Like the tricks, the counter spells. Yeah, you can tap this. I think I'm gonna give it a C+.
I think it's not bad. I think it's a C. You know, kind of middle of the line. I do think even with the mana bonus, it's weaker than like divination, but it is colorless.
And this
Seems
doesn't
fine
work
to me.
with
See,
goes in any deck. It's lower set, I think.
There's 3 lands that we're taking a look at right now. The first is Multiversal Passage. It's a land, and as this enters, choose a basic land type, then you may pay 2. If you don't, it enters tap. This land is the chosen type. I think this is better. I mean, this is better than Vibrant Cityscape, but not enough for me to bump it into the B range. So I'll also give this a C+.
I want a C+. This is like a great land to fix. If you don't care, you don't pay life. If you do care, you pay life. Very nice. Exclusive Nightclub. It enters tapped. When this land enters from a graveyard, you lose 2 life. It has Mayhem, and it taps for blue, black, or red. So, blue, black, red, great. Really nice. All of those, that's already good. Mayhem? It's like the best shit. You can play, this doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Scotty. This makes you able to play 2 lands in a turn.
No, it does not break the 2 lands in a turn.
It says you may play this card from your graveyard. This turn.
Yep.
Okay. Still one land. Okay. That was a test, and Scotty passed. So, okay. Because why would I think that? So, Okay. So like it's a really nice land without anything, but it's so good that it has mayhem. That is so fucking good because now you can like you don't have to pay anything. You can discard, you can loot, you can connive, you can rummage, with anything, and it doesn't matter how much mana it costs because you are gonna be getting that effect for free. Like that discard is not gonna be a discard. You're gonna be getting it on the battlefield, always. Lose to life is fine. I love this. I'm on a C+. Fucking love it.
Okay. I'm going in the B range on this, buddy.
Okay.
I'm giving it a B minus. I do think it's really strong. Like it's going to feel significant anytime you have any sort of curve where you're able to hold this and not cast it out or play it out early, and then you just drop this on the field. I think it's really easy curve on turn 2 for blue decks to like play their 2-mana Rummager or whatever, or 2-mana thing that discards and plop this into play. Sorry, that's turn 3.
You mean turn 3?
And it's gonna feel great.
You mean turn 3, but you're gonna have to. The thing is,
turn 3. I did mean turn 3. Yes.
Okay, you are gonna have to play your 2-drop on turn 3.
Yep.
Okay, it's really good. I don't think it's a big grade. Because a lot of times I think you're just gonna be playing it.
Which is also pretty good. It's pretty good to just play it out. I mean, for example, I would, if I had like any amount of discarding, I would play Exclusive Nightclub in a deck that only uses one of its colors.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think it's really strong. Urban Retreat. Land enters tapped. Adds green, white, or blue, or 2, return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. Put this card from your hand onto the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. If you play a 1-drop flyer, and on turn 2 you attack with it, you can ramp on turn 2. Whoa. That's not bad.
Got a bit tough.
Overall, I think this one to me is significantly weaker. I do appreciate, and I can imagine scenarios where you're ramping on like turn 3, turn 4, and that's like fairly significant, and I think that's pretty good. I think this one's a C+.
Yeah, I want a C+ as well. Really nice land. If this matters, sure. I think it's gonna be more about just being a land with this 3 mana. But sometimes, if you have some extra value to do, I don't think it's gonna be ramping, but some extra value, cool, you can do it.
That is it for colorless cards in Spider-Man. We're going to go to multicolor first, but Lola, couple things. I want to use the restroom, and Hannah wants to fix something on the stream real quick. Do you mind taking like 5 minutes?
5 minutes it is.
Okay.